West Tiff just added to the list of flooded streets. Other streets, 800 block of Pine Avenue, 1100 block of Whispering Pines, 1500 block of South Slappy near the Health Department, and 400 block of 4th Avenue. Of course, estimated by Doppler radar, what was it, Chris, about 2 to 4 inches of rain, and all of that has come actually since midnight. So over the past couple of hours, these storms have been producing those heavy downpours and moving over the same areas. So that's why we're seeing these flooded roadways as a result of this heavy rainfall coming in short order and not having anywhere to go. So it's only stacking up. And as a result, it has become very dangerous to venture outside, not only because of the flash flooding, but also because of the reports of downed trees. It is dark outside. You don't know whether or not a tree is crossing a road. Just be safe, stay inside, wait until the sun comes up. Hopefully it's not an emergency that you have to go out there. If it is, make sure you call emergency management agency first if you have to go out there, but definitely not the prime time to try to go outside for any reason other than an emergency.
We're also getting some reports of some trees down, power lines down in the west side of Tifton. So obviously they're not included in this tornado warning, but storms, even if you're not in the warning area, it's still messy out there in a lot of parts of our area.
And, we have to remember that doesn't have to be a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning for trees to be knocked down. It may be just a brief gust of strong winds. Of course, we've had quite a bit of rainfall for this year. We're only running a deficit just about maybe around 2 inches. So it's been pretty wet out there, probably some old trees. Fortunately, I had an old tree in my yard. I got it cut down before this event came. I'm quite sure it would have knocked it over. So there's possible that there are some old trees out there along with the very heavy rainfall that has come in short order. So we are hopefully continuing to help you stay safe, and by that I mean that you should not venture outside. You should stay inside. Still a tornado warning for areas of Grady County. That does include Cairo, Wiggum. The storm has been moving off toward the northeast. Also, tornado warning remains in effect for areas of Doherty, Worth, as well as southern Lee County. It looks like that warning now has been cut away. Northern Turner County, just outside of Ashburn, now included in that tornado warning, which continues right now. Areas just along and east of I-75 heading back over toward the Worth County line. Tornado warning is in effect until 3:30. The particular storm that was producing that possible tornado is now moving toward, I believe, the Ashburn area. So right around Ashburn, you should be in your safe area. Look back at toward areas of Worth County, right around Sylvester, eastern Doherty County. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect. These storms, of course, have been, once again, training over the same areas, and they have been rather strong and intense. We're seeing possible rotation there of that storm just along the Worth-Turner County line. And that is suggesting possibly very strong winds, wind gusts around possibly 60 to 70 miles per hour. And we know what those strong winds can do. They can actually knock down trees. Of course, we've had numerous reports of trees being downed during the overnight hours. Hopefully we won't get a whole lot more, but it appears that the stronger storms are still ongoing. And I believe we'll be dealing with this at least for another few hours. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, for sure. I imagine there'll still be a number of tornado warnings, right probably until the end of today in Georgia at 7 a.m. Just to update you on the warnings, and we just talked about some of the warnings, but there's some good news. The watches have all trimmed back. Baker County no longer under a watch, tornado watch. There's Calhoun County, Terrell, Randolph. All the counties kind of west of the Flint River are now discontinued with a tornado watch. So that means the worst of the weather's over for your locations. But we still have this tornado warning that goes into the Grady County area and Cairo as well. Tornado warning for northeastern Doherty and southeastern Lee County has been canceled, and we just kind of talked about that. We saw that got trimmed away, so that's good news. And also for Ben Hill County, Lee and Ben Hill County, northwestern Turner County. Is that correct? Tornado watch remains in effect. Yeah.
You can see there in Decatur County, just check Georgia Power's outage website. They've got 1,900 customers right now without power, and about 1,300 without power here in the Albany and Lee County area.
Okay. The only part of that warning that's still ongoing is the area we're showing here, which is the northwest, basically northwest half of Turner County. And you can actually see, we showed it to you on that velocity just a second ago. There's some rotation, a very broad rotation. This is not a strong sign of a tornado, but it may be a strong sign of some very gusty winds coming across this area as these thunderstorms race to the north and east. So Ashburn is pretty much on top of you in the next few minutes. So go ahead and get in your safe room now. Up next would be Sycamore, and then Double Run, Rebecca, and Rochelle. And then the storm that has had what they've confirmed a tornado in Grady County. That storm is ongoing and still kind of has the breath of the central portion of Grady County. This may move into Thomas County. It looks like it has more of a right turn to it now too. Let's loop the radar imagery, and we'll loop this for the last hour. I think there's a little bit of more of a turn to the east as opposed to the northeast. A little bit of it. There's not quite as much lightning now, but from Cairo over towards Spence, Clockney, those areas are starting to see the worst of the weather. See if we can see with the velocity on this and loop it last hour and see if we could have seen the exactly where that rotation was. That's a lot going on there. I think it's going between 2 different radar sites. And
in case you missed it, just while you guys are looking at that, a lot of school cancellations and delays, and you can go to our website. There's just too many to list here on air, but go to WALB.com and also WALB's Facebook page for a list of the closings and cancellations if you aren't aware of them. So we get into the 3 a.m. hour, a lot of people still asleep, but for those that are up watching us. And of course, there's, as you mentioned, Chris, a lot of people without their power. I was talking to someone on Facebook in Grady County that said their lights went out, and of course they're concerned. And if you have a mobile phone, of course, you can keep track with us there. And Chris, I think you're also doing some live streaming as well.
Yeah, and I just want to show you this storm here. You can see a little bit of a bow signature and a rotation coming from Cairo to Spence. So that's an area that we will continue to watch here. This area is moving to the north and the east pretty rapidly. And so Glockney coming in here at the bottom of the hour, you may be coming in, so the northwest corner. What's that?
Check out the Cairo warning, see if it's still there.
Okay. The tornado warning may have been discontinued. Let's see here. And it's still ongoing. We'll see what, let me go. Let's see what National Weather Chat says to see if this tornado warning has been discontinued. Severe thunderstorm tornado warning expires for Grady County. Let me just read what the latest information is on this. Tornado warning for Central Grady County will expire at 3:15. So it hasn't expired yet, but they're seeing that the storm system has weakened. Damaging winds still possible, so severe thunderstorm warning will remain in effect. So maybe we'll get another little pause here. Maybe I can get something together for my Today in Georgia show, because I haven't gotten anything together for that.
And meanwhile, guys, the WALB news teams, we're making calls back there to different EMAs, sheriff's offices, et cetera. And so far, no real reports of any damage. I know specifically we just got an email that there are no reports of any damage right now in Turner County. But again, we've had trees down on homes here in Dougherty County, also reports of trees down on cars, as well as trees down in Lee County, not to mention the power outages in Bainbridge and Albany that we were talking about a little earlier. But right now it seems like the big danger, if you're out and about driving, is some of the flooded streets here in Albany, and there's a lot of those to list. If you live in Northwest Albany around Westover High School, we do know that there are flooded streets there. So if you're out on the road, if you're going out this morning, be careful, because right now it's really hard to see out there on the streets. And the old adage goes, turn around, don't drown.
Yeah, I just want to update you. Tornado warning for